This is Unite Radio Podcast, one voice unifying news, interviews, tips, and encouragement. I'm your host, Veronica B. To build a successful business, you must learn how to sell. There is an art to selling your product or service to others, and I am blessed to know a person who can show you how. Her name is Julie Steelman. Julie is an international esteemed sales trainer, motivator, and the author of the Effortless Yes. Julie generated more than $100 million in sales during her 30-year selling career, working with industry giants such as Apple, Microsoft, Toyota, CBS, Sony Studios, and Universal Pictures. After retiring from sales and now living debt-free in her personal paradise of Hawaii, she became the go-to guru for entrepreneurial business owners who want to master the art of selling. Many of us are afraid of the pressures of selling, negotiating, or closing the deal. I have the book, The Effortless Yes, and my business has grown financially since I applied some of the principles she gives. The book is less than 200 pages, so you can read it and begin applying the principles immediately. Julie shares new ways that are easy and most of all rewarding. I am now building my brand successfully. I want to share with you today my interview with Julie on the art of making selling more enjoyable and profitable. The first question was to share what inspired her to write the book. Along with so much more valuable information, here's what she had to say.
I wrote this book because I left corporate America. I sold my way out. I retired and moved to Hawaii with my husband. And people were like, what are you thinking? Why are you even doing this? You're crazy. Go have fun. And I had a lot of entrepreneurial friends. And, even though I was in corporate America, I always had my own sales territory, or I was the manager of a piece of business. And I was always responsible for a number. And we couldn't do what we needed to do, and our livelihood was at stake if we didn't make or beat those numbers. So I was always an entrepreneur on my own inside the corporate world because no one showed me how to get to 40 million. I had to go do it. And so I came out, and I'm in retirement, and I'm watching all these really soul-driven, beautifully talented, innovative, creative, spiritual people running businesses, whether they're small business, coaches, experts, authors, entrepreneurs, whatever. And they all struggled with the cash-generating functions in their business. They couldn't bridge the heart part of why they were in business, because it's got to come from your heart, or you would never start a business in the first place, right? Because it's really easy to go work for somebody else and not have all the heartache and headache that goes with being an entrepreneur. It's actually one of the most spiritual journeys you could ever take. But I saw these people and I thought, there's so much integrity here, there's so much power here, and there's so much innovation here. If these people could really get down this part about how to become bankable for life and how to sell and how to bring their head and their heart together in their business, we actually might be ushering in a new era of conscious business, and these could be the people who are at the helm of corporate America in the future. That's my I'm all about that. Let me help you get that done, because I think we need a change in that realm, to be honest with you.
Wow.
And that's why I wrote the book.
Wow, and that's an awesome reason to write the book. I mean, you gave us a lot of information here. You have a new definition as it relates to selling. What is that?
Thank you for asking me that question, because I hope this just reframes it for everybody. Selling is the ability to create an opportunity to be of service to your client or customer in exchange for deserved payment.
Go ahead and repeat that for us one more time.
Okay.
That is awesome.
Selling is the ability to create an opportunity to serve your client or customer in exchange for deserved payment. See, that's why it's all about the Benjamins, in a good way. But I really, really mean that. I think there's so many things that pain a small business owner, an entrepreneur, coach, author, expert, whatever the bucket everyone listening is playing in. Mm-hmm. When we fall out of love with our business because we spend too much time doing and not enough time being or not enough time serving, mm-hmm. and when we don't make sales, we don't have an opportunity to give or to serve. That is what is the most heartbreaking fact about running a business and why people get disempowered and disengaged from the original big why, from the original mission they set out to accomplish by starting a business.
Mm-hmm. But you know, many people think that women will make better salespersons than men, but women are adverse to selling. What do you think?
I've seen both in action, and I think women are naturally great salespeople. Mm-hmm. That is, if they are willing to overcome their fear about it and instead be more motivated, that they're in love with their mission and their purpose and what they're trying to offer more than they're afraid of their fear. And one of the reasons why is because women are natural problem solvers and natural helpers. And when they can get past the fear and go into this place where I'm really listening to you and bonding with you and connecting with you as a human being, we automatically kick into our natural partnership and problem-solving skills, and we listen at a different level that we hear at a different level than men do most of the time.
Oh, okay. Now, speaking of courage, you have a chapter in here that says, dust off
your moxie.
Tell a little bit about that chapter with us.
I'm really glad you brought that up because that's kind of my attitude chapter.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, well, I think that people really don't soul search enough to realize that they actually have their fingers crossed behind their back hoping to make money. Like, my product's so good, my content's so good, what I do is so good, the benefit is so good, how could it not make money? And it's actually a lie that you tell yourself. I love that you have the positive attitude and absolutely think that way, but that isn't enough. But people let themselves off the hook there. And so it becomes a wish, a hope, and a want, and they don't actually decide, and I mean decide in full capital letters, like a wholehearted, body, full decision. I'm going to make more money than I need doing this, and I'm going to figure out how to do that. They just expect it, or they're waiting, they make a silent wish, waiting for a windfall. How come no one's discovered me? How come nobody gets this? You have to go out and be actively talking about engaging and promoting and trading, passing along that enthusiasm that you have about what it is that you do so that your customer can have that same enthusiasm. And customers don't get that way on their own because they don't know what you know about your product or service.
Right. So you're saying if they change their attitude, that will also alleviate the fear that they have in selling?
It starts to, when you make the decision to make more money than you need, to be bankable, to be profitable, to make the money you deserve from that which you offer, it changes your spectrum. It actually gets you into action. The fear never totally dissipates, but you act out of courage and despite it, and you dismantle its power over you when you decide.
On the cover of the book, you have a subtopic, get the sales you want and make all you ever need. Is that possible?
It's totally possible because when you can really zone in on what you do best, which I call claiming your sweet spot, you come from a place that's bigger than you, where there's more resources and creativity available to you. You also move into a place that's extremely infectious, and you get so excited about it because that's what you really want to do for people, that you naturally become successful as a byproduct, and you attract the ideal client to you, and the ideal client is eager and happy to pay you what you're asking for what they're getting. And so it shifts the power around a little bit, and when you know what that is that you do best, a whole level of fear starts melting away. Psychologically, that's how that whole yes thing happens.
Okay. that's what the sweet spot is. Explain to us what's the sweet spot.
The sweet spot is that thing that's only unique to you. It's an inherent, intrinsic, special thing that you do that creates an incredible shift, change, or transformation in your customer so they get more of what it is they're seeking.
You just are walking on. I mean, wow, this is awesome. You're giving us so much information here in the book because I want them to understand they need the book in hand. So share with our listeners what they can expect to gain from having this book in their library.
Well, thank you for asking that. First of all, it's a 7-step system, and you're going to get the how-tos, you're going to get scripts, and you're going to get step-by-step advice and actions to take in every stage of the selling process. And my whole goal was to simplify the whole thing for people that aren't in a massive corporate environment or need this really high-level Uber training, although you can completely use this because that's the system I use. Mm-hmm. But you can expect to actually increase your income. You can actually expect to completely shift your attitude and get excited and actually want to sell and be out there talking about your products and services in a whole new way. You can expect to feel a whole lot more empowered. And when you can tap into that juicy thing that you love above all else and that is what you excel at, that's when the ability to make more than you need comes in, because then you start to see how to create a sustainable and long-lasting level of success. Build on what you've already done, but then you keep getting better and better and better. You keep getting new innovations and new ideas as a result. So it's a model for building a long-term, lucrative, soul-satisfying, successful business.
Excellent. Now, I want to touch on a few of the things that we all do not like. Number one, cold calling. Can you tell us that can help us ease into cold calling without the nervousness or the fear of it if somebody's hanging up the phone on us?
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things is like the phone, first of all, you need to know the phone is a very interruptive device. Email is a non-interruptive device, so just understand the difference between the two. So I don't want anybody to ever cold call again. In fact, I think the whole thing should be eradicated from the planet because it's a bad idea. And it got overused, and everybody's had too much of it, so everybody hates it, so nobody wants to do it. I don't think you should ever make a cold call again, ever. In fact, I say nix it. So here's what I think you should do. I think you need to know a little bit about who you're going to call and what's important to them and what they're doing and what they might be looking for. You can do this in less than 5 minutes by researching their company website, their mission statement, know a little bit about the person, ask around, see if they blog or they're on social media anywhere. It's so easy to find out just even little details about people today. It's not so hard. Don't ever make a call and someone says, "Hi, this is Judy," and you say, "Hi, I'm," and I. Stop using the word I. Start using the word you. Because when someone doesn't know you and you interrupt their day and they actually pick up the phone, even though they picked it up, they're probably a little annoyed because the phone is very interruptive. Remember that. Sure. You got to warm it up and say, "This is Jody. I just saw your mission statement online. I can't believe that for every T-shirt you sell, you guys plant a tree. You don't know this about me, but with every client I work with, I actually plant an orchard. We've got to talk."
Wow.
Right? Like all of a sudden, you're not this weirdo calling me trying to sell me something, and I've been trained how to get you off the phone as fast as possible because I just don't want to talk about it right now. Mm-hmm. So you create something that's a bond, but it's always about them. It's not about you. Before you make the call, write down what's the minimum you'd love to get out of this conversation. Like, I would love to find out their email address, or I would love to book a 30-minute phone conversation with them. Then write down what's the maximum you would like to get out of this conversation. I would like to meet her for lunch and talk about this directly for an hour and a half. If you know what your minimum is and what your maximum is, you'll naturally understand how to direct the conversation, and it'll be very smooth. People don't need any more friends. What they need are people they respect who will help them get more of what they want, and this scenario will put you well ahead of the game if you use it like that.
Right. You are a walking dictionary as it relates to sales. You know, when I looked up Amazon has over 42,000 books on sales.
I know.
The next thing I want you to leave with us is there such a thing as a perfect sales pitch?
That's an interesting question because there's so many layers on a sensory level of what happens between a buyer and a seller. Mm-hmm. I will say this. The thing that makes a pitch perfect isn't fancy words or strategy. It's the ability to connect at a deeper level with your customer so you really understand how you can help them, and then you effectively tell them how they'll get that value. Mm-hmm. That's the perfect pitch, the one that has a real, true connection in it.
Okay, the one that has a real, true connection. So it's all about connecting up front.
Yes. Yes.
Not giving them a whole bunch of fluff, but just really connecting with that person. And
yes.
Like I said, it's very important to get some type of personal contact information, and I think that's where we fail to do it, because we first start asking, can I have 5 minutes of your time? Well, if you go ahead and use that 5 minutes to get that email address, like you said, because I too am with you as it relates to email over the telephone, because they can either respond to it, they can get rid of it, and you'll never know if they don't want anything to do with you. If they did not ask to be deleted from your list, then you have another opportunity to reach out to them at a later date. I want to ask you, I see you have somewhere about your natural ask.
Yes, it's commonly referred to as the close, but that sounds so me doing that to you, so I was trying to language it in another way, because the idea of the book is to bring out your strengths as a natural seller or influencer, and everybody has them. I'm going to say it again. Everybody has them. Mm-hmm. And give you a methodology that enhances that natural strength, gives you the confidence that you want and deserve, and also overcomes your challenges and or weaknesses when it comes to selling. And so in that section, there's about 15 scripts of ways that you can naturally ask for the business, and you can pick which ones feel really good to you. Everybody has a natural way of asking. You just haven't ever been told what it is and then how to do it. And that's what's in that chapter, the last step of the 7-step Effortless Yes selling process, is really determining which one of those fit you, and then I give you the model for it, and then you can construct your own by filling in the blank.
And that is so true. We only have a few minutes left, so I want to talk about Chapter 10, Becoming Bankable. On the front cover, you said, discover your bankability. Just leave us with something so empowering that they will definitely run out and get this. It is a must-have, listeners. I got to tell you, it is a must-have. You literally give us scripts that we can walk in and, as you just stated, make it our own. So tell us how to discover our bankability.
Everybody has the ability to be bankable for life, and what that means is that your mindset, meaning that you believe and you've decided you want to have a lucrative, profitable business, aligns with your heart set, which is, what I do best is this, and I'm bringing that to my customers because I'm no longer willing to withhold that opportunity for them to have that benefit. And I'm mastering the skill set and the art of successful selling in my own natural style by adopting some of this information. And when my mindset, my heart set, and my skill set align, the only thing that can't happen is that you completely become bankable, because everything is in alignment, headed towards it, and when you feel very empowered and aligned on the inside, because it's about mastering the inner game, only thing that can happen is prosperity comes forward.
You know what? This book covers so much good news that it helps us to realize that we can do this. Mm-hmm. This is a giant that is not as big as it seems. And we can make it happen, and we can be bankable. I am just so grateful to have you center stage. I believe in order to make money, you have to sell. And I understand why everyone was waiting to hear it. This, the Effortless Yes. In 30 minutes, you shared with us how to make it effortless, how to even get started, as well as that it can happen. Julie, I just want to thank you so much. I want you, if you have any last-minute words that you want to share with the audience, as well as please let them know if you're available for bookings or how they can reach you.
It's been such a pleasure to do this with you, Veronica, and I love what you're doing for people. I'm a big supporter and fan, and so I appreciate the opportunity to talk to your peeps. I just want to say that everybody has the right to be abundant, to live an abundant life for the rest of their life, and it's absolutely 100% possible to make more money than you need and use some of that money to design, create, and live your paradise. And that's what I want for people, because when you're prosperous and when you make more than you need and you're willing to go out there and take the sales action to tell your customers how you can serve them, it comes full circle. I'm available for anything anybody wants, totally open for questions and whatnot, and there's some free goodies on my website if people want to go there and get that.
Leave us with your web address.
It's juliesteelman.com, JuliEsteelman.com, and there's a free audio if you sign up on, it's called Selling Sucks and Why It's Not Your Fault, and it's great information, and it's different than the conversation that we just had here, and there's a couple free chapters.
Thank you for listening. I'm Veronica B. One voice, unifying news, interviews, tips, and encouragement right here on Unite Radio Podcast.